What's something odd you find attractive? When she's kinda weird. I love a girl that has unique interests and expresses them without fear. I think it's so cute seeing a girl be interested in something I've never heard of before. Examples? Skull collecting. Okay, that is a good example. Interesting. Penis necklace. I'm very happy to see how many people here notice the uniqueness of different noses. I've always thought that nose as the central part of face adds a lot of character. It's the part of face which makes it interesting. I've met a lot of girls complaining about their noses and thinking about surgery, and it just breaks my heart. So, answering the question, I would say noses which are not necessarily beautiful in a classical way. Same. Have a huge bridge on my nose that always made me feel super insecure, and it's nice to see a few people actually think odd noses are cute. I really wanted a nose job until I saw a video of the procedure that made me nope out of it. Nothing is worth putting a chisel in your nose for unless it's for an actual medical reason. I still get goosebumps and a bit queasy when I think about that video. I have a large nose with a bump and a bulbous tip, and I wanted a rhinoplasty for so long, but the older I get, the more compliments on it I get, and now it's one of my favorite features. I've realized it's what makes me lol. The nose is basically the face. I have a large nose. I'm of Italian heritage, which may or may not have some influence over that particular feature. I have been made fun of whole life for my nose, always by dudes, which I am not. It has taken me a long time to accept this feature about myself. I'm still not there really, but appreciate it makes me different and have amazing sense of smell and taste. And yeah, I have seen the rhinoplasty procedure. Not sure that I can get over that. When guys get embarrassed, I think it's adorable, lol. Looking tired. God, if looking tired was a beauty standard, I'd be a fucking model. It was in the 2000s when scene was really popular. Everybody loved tired-looking sad heartthrobs. So the guy in Twilight? There's a reason the movies were popular, and it wasn't Kristen Stewart's acting. Seeing someone at a restaurant or a movie by themselves. That kind of confidence is sexy. Well, that actually is really attractive, shows confidence. Or it shows that they're a traveling sales rep. I'm at the bar RN and I can beg to differ. LOL, the bar is the only exception to this rule if you're a guy asterisk. Pointed canines. I've always had very pronounced canines, which is all fun and games until I accidentally bite my tongue for the 100th time. When I was in high school, my dentist filed down my canines during a routine cleaning without even asking if I wanted that. She was like, "We don't want you cutting your tongue, lol." Like? That's part of my body you just removed. Plus I've had these teeth for years and never cut my tongue on them. Ugh, I'm getting worked up just thinking about it. Same thing happened to me. And I feel the same about it. People who are able to sit in silence comfortably. That don't feel the need to always fill the void with chatter. Don't get me wrong, I love a good conversation, but not everything needs to be said. Well, that gives me some ease. A big worry of mine is that I don't tend to say much the more time I spend with someone. I'm a quiet person, and that's where I'm comfortable. We out here, we exist. And we want human connection all the same, smiley face, nothing wrong with being quiet, it's just another way to be. Nothing wrong with being quiet. My complete lack of interpersonal relationships would disagree. My definition of a really good friend is someone who can sit with me in silence for 20 minutes and not feel awkward about it. You need a certain amount of trust and connection to really do that IMO. Small talk is for strangers and is just a waste of time to me. Yeah, my buddies and I will be in Discord and just be quietly playing games, sometimes separate games, sometimes the same. Obviously it gets loud and rowdy sometimes when we get into it, but we also can chill together and just hang out and chat when something to talk about comes up. No need to worry. That's definitely attractive. Being able to sit in silence with someone is wonderful. Edit, changed turn on to attractive. I'm actually learning to enjoy being quiet with my friends and just enjoying the silence myself, no need for words to be spoken anymore. Someone's sick voice lol. I've never met someone else like me. Phoebe Buffy has entered the chat. Gunther, be a good little boy and bring me a whiskey. My ex once said I sound like Scarlett Johansson when I'm sick. I've been sick all week, lost most of my voice, and my boyfriend told me I sounded like Aquafina lol. Girl with messy hair. I broke 2 hairbrushes trying to untangle my hair. Hey sexy. That deserves an upvote. When they bring you lasagna at work. Garfield. I finally got the wildfire in my sock drawer under control. Out of the ordinary I mean. Garfeeder. Garfeelin' romantic. When a girl is really focused on something and then she puts her hair in a ponytail to get to some next level hyperfocus. So what you're saying is you read a series of unfortunate events and it stirred something inside you. Edit, I reread it and I see where the allegations are coming from. I should have used the word awakened, not stirred. That's what I meant, that it was that thing that happens when we're kids, where like we see something and it determines our sexuality going forward. Not that someone needed to go to their bunk reading a novel written for elementary school age children. Yes. I love it. When I'm trying to figure something out I say don't make me break out my violet ribbon ha ha ha. First thing I though too. Nerdy and awkward men. If they're older and inexperienced, the better. Honestly, I prefer awkward and nerdy men full of humor and less judgmental. I'm really shocked to see so many upvotes on my comment. Like genuinely nerdy guys who give off positive energy are the best. They're always polite, especially when you're out eating. They're polite to the waiters and they don't mind holding your bag in public. I yearn for awkward nerdy men. You're both doing the Lord's work and probably having lots of very quick sex. I salute you, internet stranger. I was going to say the exact same thing about women. The more socially awkward the better. Let's see that sexy faux pas. When my partner comes home all covered in dirt from work and looking exhausted, I just get all warm and fuzzy and want to fuss over him. And then get down to business. Unfortunately, the looking exhausted is due to being exhausted. I feel this like yeah, so hot and sweaty, damn andd he's asleep. This one cracks me up because I'm a bisexual woman with a love for girly girls, but when I met my partner after work one day, got him. That man was covered in dirt and sweaty and it awakened something in me. Still does. Too bad he works 10-hour shifts overnight and must rest. Straight in from the site. Nerds. All the men I've dated and my husband have all been nerds. Edited to add, and I'm not a nerd, in the traditional sense I guess lol. As a nerd myself, I feel like this is totally normal in today's society. One day, video games were just cool and suddenly all branches of nerdiness came with it. Yeah, there's a lot of women who prefer the nerdy type. It's kind of the biggest thing I've got going for me lol. Aside from my dashing good looks and immaculate personality, that is. But I'm 50. It wasn't cool back then. Always preferred brains when it came down to it. And a bit shy was always nice too. Oh, absolutely. I'm not disputing that it was out of the ordinary. I'm just saying that times have changed and that it feels like nerdiness and general attraction to that is now normalized. Left-handers. My brother-in-law, my boss, my contacts manager, his boss, the owner and his assistant were all in a room once and they are all left-handed. I tried to calculate the odds but I'm not smart enough. Watching them all scribble notes was fascinating as a righty. If it's true that 10% of us are left-handed, the odds are 0.1x 0.1 times 0.1 times 0.1 is equal to 0.0001, 0.01%. Assumptions. 10% of us are left-handed. None of these people are related, could skew the genetic odds of left-handedness in a small group. I'm remembering my one stats class. I feel like that 10% might be old news. My dad's generation were all forced to use the correct hand, so I doubt there were many people indeed who remained left-handed. I feel like every third person I meet is left-handed, can't be that rare anymore. Of course this might be just my own bias cause I usually notice it when other people write the same as me. From my own family, I only know my dad and me, so even if this was based on genetics it doesn't count in my own bias. I'm left-handed myself and tend to agree with you. I googled it and couldn't find a better number. I do believe that in times past people had to suppress that and people got switched. That said, 40% seems high for the general population. I think you're right, the 10% statistic isn't accurate anymore, if it ever was. The actual percentage has got to be higher. My job involves making patients sign a lot of paperwork. I always notice fellow lefties, and the number of lefties I see a day has become surprisingly high. I'd guess at least 40% are lefties. I am kind of a nerd, so I might start keeping track of it. There's the clue, you always notice the lefties. As a fellow nerd, I'd like to keep track of it too. Question is what method? Nothing as boring as pen and paper, or even worse, spreadsheet. I suggest 2 bowls and a big supply of Skittles. There's a girl I really like, but I have no intention of asking her out. Instead, I use her to help me pass bowel movements. When I sit on the toilet, I write her a text asking her out, but I never send it. Thing is, every time I start typing, I get so fucking nervous that I feel the need to shit myself. Luckily, I'm already on the toilet, so it works out in my favor. She is the only reason I'm not constipated 24/7, and I can't have it any other way. But what if you accidentally Pavlov yourself? You'll never be able to ask someone out without shitting. Or the other way. 40 years I've been asking girls out to take a shit. To this day I can't cut a log without the fear of rejection. My dude's going to end up in a "it's not what it looks like" story when his future girlfriend/wife finds him on dating apps. Very unexpected Shawshank. For whatever reason, a barefoot man in jeans when you catch that glimpse of ankle is insanely sexy to me. I have no idea why. I do get why men in olden times got excited at the flash of ankle beneath a woman's skirt though. Same. One of my favorite musicians performs without shoes most of the time and it gets me going. I saw him this year from first row, and during one song which includes the sentence "stones weighing down my shoes" in finish, he suddenly lifted his leg, yells "what fucking shoes," and almost fell over while shredding the bass before proceeding to sing, "God, that did it for me." I remember watching a documentary on trams in England in the olden days, and on some of the double-decker ones the driver would sit next to the stairs. There'd be a little courtesy flap he could use if a woman was going up so he wouldn't see her ankle, haha. This is one I've never heard before. Well done. That thing where a woman has dyed her hair but grows out and you can see the dark roots and the color looks like unintentional highlights or something. Also white tops, denim bottoms, and bare feet. And I don't even have a foot fetish, something about jeans and feet though. You would have loved the early 2000s. I was in high school then and it was amazing. Denim bottoms, and bare feet. And I don't even have a foot fetish, something about jeans and feet though. OMG, I said the same for men. What is it? I don't understand it, but I love it. Both look insanely attractive emo. When a girl has a special interest and you bring it up without realizing it and she goes on like a 2-hour info dump telling you every reason why she likes Ewoks or something. I just like hearing people talk about things they love. Agreed. Passion is awesome. Seeing someone light up and sharing their thing, love it. Yees. People being passionate is such a turn-on for me. I don't even care what it is about, just knowing they have something they totally live for is beautiful. Makes me want to be their passion so bad. Basically the only reason I talk to people. In general though, the most awesome people I know/remember are those that have a passion for something and active in that field. Nobody likes an ordinary Joe/plain Jane. I think one little crooked tooth can make a whole smile sweeter. What about a mouth if crooked teeth? Is that like pure sugar? I just mean like, okay. So my best friend had one tooth, a bicuspid I think, that was just a little crooked. It overlapped one of her canines. And it was so cute. It was part of what made her smile, her smile. But then she got those invisible braces and now her teeth are straight. I loved her smile with that tooth. I love her smile still, and it makes no difference now, but it was just so her that it took me a bit to get over the difference. LOL. Edit, for context, we've been besties since 5th grade, circa 1995 to 6, so I think that has a lot to do with it. It's part of who she is to me. But in the end, it doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy. This is my answer as well. There's something very endearing about a slightly crooked smile. Well then my smile must be like a shot of high fructose corn syrup. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.